This is a early 80s Kramer, probably. I think what I heard was it was a type of striker, and I think a 300. I think. I feel like it would have been 200 because I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with Kramer's naming stuff on the strikers back then. But this is another one of these plywood guitars, and this one. So this was given to a friend of mine. Guy was cleaning out his basement and came across all this stuff. And one of the things he came across was this guitar, and he gave it to a friend of mine, and named Nick. And Nick had it, and he played a little bit of guitar, but he knew I was, really into guitar, and so he's like, you want to look at this thing, see what you think. So I looked at it, and then at first I thought, God, I couldn't imagine why the body was a pretty decent paint job. It was red. At one point, the paint job had been nice. Somebody did some crazy stuff. They put some kind of, I don't know, like truck bed liner on part of it, and weird kind of Les Paul pick guard down here. It just, you can see the shape of it. I'll see if I can find some pictures of it when I first got it. But the thing that struck me was this headstock. It's I'll put it up on the other camera there too so you can see, but it, like, at one point it had a very nice paint job, because the checking is just the kind of checking you see from, really great vintage guitars that have aged like exactly how you want it to look all old and cool. And then it's got either that C Randolph, I think, or E Randolph. I can't tell exactly what the character is supposed to be. But anyway, somebody tried to make it into a cool kind of player's guitar because, I think these are good tuners, and this. So I'm going to take this out and we'll get a look at it. Oh, so John Sykes is dead. I got to mention that, and I'm sad because I'm sad John Sykes is dead, but also because it just means I'm getting old, and all these guys I thought be around forever are dying. It's not cool. So I'll have a little pull for John. This is his Stellum bourbon. It's really good. So I'm going to take this out and get a look at it. It says DiMarzio 8K on it, if I remember right. And it is a bridge pick or a neck pickup, so that's cool. And the reason this is here is I want to talk about this plywood body, but then also it's going to get a Focus 1000 pickup that I had taken out of a Focus 1000. I'm going to put it in here, and it'll be a pretty playable guitar. It'll actually be real cool. The neck is great. It's like the neck just feels small in every way. It feels narrow this way. It feels thin this way. The shoulders of it come in fast. It's just, I guess you would call it a D shape, I guess. I don't know. I need more time with all that, but more variety of necks to know. I mean, to me, there's like the wizard neck, which is like just feels wide and flat, and I would call that kind of a D, sort of, just or kind of goes, I don't know. But anyway, this is another one of these plywood guys. When I pulled it back, I was like, oh yeah, this is one of these plywood guys. And this one even is cooler in a way because let's see, yeah, check it out. All right. So I could strip away some of that primer a little bit better, but I just thought it looked kind of vintage that way, or like distressed. But you can see all those layers. That's cool. And I mean, I know it's like the cheapest thing. It's plywood, for God's sake. They just took all this thin wood and, like, I'm sure it's offensive to Tonewood people. Like, what are you doing? But I mean, look at the arm carve there. Look how that just comes out. God, that's great. And then there's the belly carve. Let's see if you can see it the other way. It's cooler. So anyway, it's cool. And light. Real light. So anyway, this thing's been around a while. And I stripped it back, and I think it must have been changed here a little bit, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, so that's getting a pickup from So yeah, it says DiMarzio pickups made in USA. It's attached. There. Was it like that? Should make sense. I'm gonna get nauseous. DiMarzio pickups. Made in USA, and then upside down, what I believe that says 8K, which would make sense because when I touch it with the ohm meter, that's what I get. So, and I don't know who writes that on there, like the dude who put it in, or somebody from DiMarzio, or somebody from Gibson, because this was originally in a Gibson or some such. The only reason I say that is because it seemed like there was Gibson electronics. Like, it just seemed like somebody took the electronics out of a Gibson and just stuffed it in this new cavity. Just the impression I got. So anyway, that's cool. I think it'll sound good. And I'm going to need to figure out something different with this guy with the screws, if I remember right, because these don't fit. Yeah, it's a little tight. I'm going to have to get something a little bit better than that. All right, so it's going to be kind of the same kind of business as the other guitars, but we'll actually use the wiring diagram. I don't think I'm going to split it. We'll keep it simple. Switch. We'll do a 3-way switch. Volume, tone. Mess with it that way. See how it goes. Set it up in, I don't know, maybe E flat. It might be fun to play out. Let's see. Check it out. So this is I actually found my diagram when I first wired this thing back up. So the idea is you solder everything in place as if it were in the guitar. So you use this and kind of in place of, the guitar. And that way everything's exposed and open. You don't have to worry about hurting the finish. You do it here. And then you just kind of transplant everything in and do a couple, just a couple solders. So this was apparently, at some point, somebody had told me it's an 80s Kramer Striker. And actually, God, I feel like it's like this. But anyway, 200 ST or 300 ST. And I want to say eventually I figured out it was a 300 ST. But so it's kind of how you can do it. I'm just going to throw them in and go. All right, so take a little bit of this. You know, we'll get some flux on there. How about some flux? This is cool too. Tip tinner. We didn't have this back in the day. I didn't. It's a really nice tin on there. So then I just a little bit of that. So again, it's just like you have to have a license to do this, as I do. It's a Dave World of Fun Stuff license, renewed every year. They let you do this stuff. So it's electricity. It's hot. I wouldn't mess with it unless you knew what you're doing. For real. All right. I saw my diagrams from before with this pickup. So I'm pretty sure we're looking at this red and orange. So bridge humbucker, red and orange connected. Here it is, our old friend. You know it well. So, what do we got back here? We got a 3-way switch, and we got a tone and a volume. There's no excuses. The only excuse is that we don't know exactly what this is. But I have a diagram somewhere with the old notes that I took. But all this stuff is normal and old, actually. That's probably old. Feels pretty nice, though. Smooth. But look, you can see, look at all this stabilization I had to do. Big red spring. That's a big, strong spring right in the middle there. But that's the original block and stuff. Good. Godo tuners. Pretty nice ones. Smooth. Nice ratio. All right, so I'm going to print that out. And then I'm going to kind of stick it on... Actually, it's not complicated. I'll just stick those right through here and just solder it all right inside there probably. Protect it a little bit. So that should be it. So I'm going to solder those together and then get some electrical tape down there, because then it's just kind of a humbucking pickup configuration. And then, let's see, I guess it's a little weird, but my notes say that brown is ground. So we'll have to see. Such is the life of dealing with something that didn't have documentation at all. So that's how it goes. Okay, so I soldered this presumably correctly. And now we get to test it doing the tap on the pickups. Just make sure the amp works at all. Our fine-tuning device, screwdriver. Lots of buzzing, but that, we got that before too, so. Ooh, yep. That's kind of loud. Oh, but I am in the middle. All right, hold on. Uh-oh. That's not good. Middle. No. Something came undone back there, I think. Or else the switch is bad. So that seems to be picking that, but something's... Let's see. So I think it's wired, right? Something's just disconnecting. It's not really wired right, but you know what I mean. See, this is both, and this just this one. It's going to be great. You'll see. Yeah. Sounds pretty quiet though. Yeah. But tone. Yes, it changes the character. Both. Bitchin'. String it up and go. You watch. But I can't. Not really. All right. Tens, I think. Because it might go E flat. Check some stuff. I mean, I would even do nines for E flat, but. Adjuster. So I'm just going to give it about, it didn't feel really engaged right there. So I'm just going to give it like what I would call a quarter turn. But the fact that it was loose all the way makes me think that somebody was trying to get the relief out of it. That is pretty straight. I don't think I'm going to get much more out of it. But I am going to put tens on. So just don't want to. It's old neck, old guitar. I don't want to put too much on it at once. And Dave from Dave's World of Fun Stuff says that if you let it sit a little bit, it'll kind of set. Things will move a little bit more. There's a little more moving that can happen, either reverting or settling into new position. So I'm just going to go kind of check. Sounds pretty thin because that pickup is far away. See how much that's just too much. So I'm going to add longer screws and springs properly mounted in there. Have an update later. tinny bullshit means that I got that backwards. So let me show my diagram. So I did this one. I must need to do this one. Although I feel like I did end up doing that, actually. But I posted this. When I first did this, I got that same result. And I posted this on, one of those forums, guitar forum. And the dude basically just like looked at my cavity. He was, oh, yeah, you got this backwards. I mean, that guy's probably dead now, so I don't know. But anyway, I know that's what the problem is when I hear that sound. And that is one of the sounds you can go for when you start getting like the switching in there. You could switch into that. That might be a sound you want. I don't. I want the normal big saturated humbucker sound. So we're going to go for that.